Now, time for my spoiler talk for Blade Runner 2049. Let's go. The beginning of the film, it starts off as David Batista. He's farming, and now Officer K is investigating him, and see if he's a replicant or not. And then he basically starts. David Batista tries to kill Officer K, and then he tries to kill him, and then Officer K kills him, and then investigates him, takes off his eyeball to see if he's a replicant, and they test it. And that's another one part. Let me talk about another spoiler. In the film, Joy, you probably know her. If you don't know, she is a hologram. She is not real. So basically, Ryan Gosling has he basically has he only has an imaginary wife. He doesn't have a actual wife, human, a real human. She's basically a replicant. Not, I'm joking. Just a hologram. Just fake, basically, not real. Yeah. In the film, you don't really see a character. You really don't see that much in the film. Is Jared Leto. You only see him sometimes. He's not really the main villain. The main villain is the girl, basically. At the end of the film, he doesn't die. He lives. No one except for the girl, and the girl who the girl, she dies. Forgot her name. Let me do my. I want Actually, no, I don't need it. Another spoiler. This one is actually a very big spoiler. When Officer K meets Deckard, when Officer K meets Deckard, they have a big fight, yada yada yada, until after that he knows that that basically Officer K had a family. And spoiler right here, this is a big spoiler. Deckard's son is Officer K. Deckard and Rachel, Officer K's parents are Deckard and Rachel. Rachel, if you probably remember in the first film, they had to leave because they were getting hunted by replicants. So basically, Deckard and Rachel, had a son, and he was born Joe, for Officer K. He was born in the year 2021, and there's a part in the film where he had a wooden horse, people were trying to, he had it, and then, there were kids that were trying to, fight him, not fight him, but, they were trying to chase him because of the horse, and they want it back, and they beat him up. Actually, there's something hidden in the horse. They have a date, June 10th, 2021, which was Joe's birthday. He was born on that day. On that day, and what happened was that after Rachel died, Deckard left her. Joe he was living in an orphanage. He was basically an orphan. He was basically an orphan, and he spent his life there, and then he became, an officer. There's another one. Another scene. Well, there's characters who die. Some characters who die. Um, the chief of the lady the person who plays Robin Wright from Forrest Gump and House of Cards, she dies because of because the woman wanted to know where he was, and he didn't, and she didn't know, and then he basically then the replicant, the lady, she started to kill him, and started to kill her, and then had to find him. Oh yeah, I also forgot. Basically, Joe Officer K is basically, he has, in the trailer you could tell him that he has a lots of skills, because I think he's like Officer K. I think he's like basically half. I know he's basically half human and half replicant, because I think replicants have also skills. If you've seen in the not if you've seen the short film or the full film, they basically, replicants are very skillful. They're really, they have good combat. They're good. They're good at fighting things, like they're basically good. And Officer K he's basically half replicant and half human. He's still a smart person. Uh, he's still a smart person. He could still fight, kill, and investigate and do a lot of things. But yeah, Joy. There's another scene where Joy dies. You don't see her hologram, but at the another scene where you see another holo. Joy basically dies, and you don't see her. You don't see her again, but you do see her in like a big. You've seen probably in the trailers or the TV spot. That purple girl who's naked. You see her in that basically. She's basically he meets Joe, and she says, "You're a good Joe," and you get to see her again, but you don't get to see her at the end. Another scene, basically, when Harrison Ford gets kidnapped, he basically after when he gets kidnapped, he basically sees Jared Leto and the girl, and they talk about his wife, and after she died, actually the villain's name is Neander. Neander holds like a skull of Rachel, and then Rachel then they Xander makes another replicant of Rachel, and it's basically like they use CGI, and it looks exactly like the one from 1982, and they did a great job. It may be a little bit more updated. It's a little more updated, but they did a great job on that. I really liked it. Now the ending. Okay, now the ending. So basically, I told you that the lady. Let me research her name. Let's see. Liv. Her name was Liv, and she, Deckard and what's his name? Officer K has basically a battle, like, they're fighting each other until basically Officer K, like, chokes him. He chokes, no, wait, actually, no. Officer K chokes Lube, and then she dies, and then they get out of the water, and then they meet this lady. She's basically, like, she's been, okay, in another scene, the beginning, actually, Officer K meets this woman who, at the age of 8, she's been, like, held up in this room where she can, like, she has a bed, like a bed, but she can, like, imagine things. She can use, she has this, like kind of like a camera looking thing where she, like, imagines everything, and, she uses her imagination. But there's another, I remember in the beginning there was a scene where, like, it was in, like, a forest, and the visuals on that were absolutely incredible. Those were the best visuals I've seen ever. Like, really, in general, just the visuals are great in Blade Runner 2049. It was really, really good. At the end of the scene, he goes and meets this. The same woman. That imagines it. And I kind of got a little confused because I didn't know if if he had a daughter or a and basically, he talks to the lady, at the end. Okay, no. Yeah, then Harrison Ford Decker talks to the lady who wasn't living in the room. Okay, that was so bland. It's kind of hard to, it's sometimes hard to, figure out things, but you get to figure it out. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Oh yeah, there's this one, no, not yeah, but in the film you probably the guy from Captain Phillips, the guy Oscar nominee for, he's also in this movie. He's only like a little part, but like he just talks in Somali. He doesn't talk in like English. The guy is from Somali. Yeah, if you've seen Captain Phillips, it's a really good film. You should watch it. Very good. Yeah. I think that's so that's for my spoiler talk, and I hope you enjoy it. Peace.